Hello and welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, and you have arrived at Streaming Idiots. You probably took a wrong turn somewhere. That's how you got here. No, we're delighted you're here. Well, we've got tons of folks that are watching us live. If you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com and click the Watch Live tab, and that way you can get in on all the great chat. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a great guest warming up here in the green room, Bruce Richardson with Video Link out of Canada, and so we're gonna get to him in just a second. But before we do, my apologies to all of you that joined our Facebook group this past week. I neglected to get a list of you. If you're interested, you can go there right now, and you can see right down at the bottom, facebook.com/groups/streamingidiots. And you can join the group. There's great chat there throughout the week and the weekend. People are posting problems. Other people are posting possible solutions. It's a very helpful, very friendly group. And if you're interested in live streaming and need a community to be around you, join the Streaming Idiots Facebook group. I think you'll really, really benefit by it. We are hoping, the way things are going, we're hoping to have, can you believe it, 500 members by NAB. So we would love to have you join, and if you click the join now, right now, Jan will probably be able to add you. Toot sweet, and you'll be in like Flynn. Coming up 2 weeks from this past Monday. So that's like 12 days from now. Is NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters show and convention, conference, seminar, etc., coming to you live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I am going to be there. Fortunately, the folks at vMix have asked me to come join their team. So I will be fully regaled in vMix attire for the entire week. And there at the vMix booth, we're in the south lower hall, on the upper level of the lower hall. And so if you've been in the lower hall, it kind of steps down the further back you get into it. And we are before it steps down over to the right. We're actually catty corner across from New Tech. So if you find New Tech, you'll find us pretty quickly. It's going to be great. Now, for those of you that are attending NAB, there's going to be a vMix meetup on Tuesday night at about 7 o'clock, I think, at Scott's studio. So we'll have details on that. By all means, if you're interested, come on over to the Streaming Idiots Facebook group and number one, join if you haven't already, and number two, post a message and say, give me the details, and we'll give you the details. We've got limited capacity, so we don't want to overflow. Scott's actually got a great studio there in Las Vegas, and he's going to open it up and let us come hang out there. Plus, he's going to show off some of his toys, so it should be a really cool way to end our day at NAB on Tuesday. And so NAB is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so we hope you can make it for part of that. If you're stuck on the East Coast and you can't make it to NAB, and you're like, darn, I wish I could come. The farthest I would be able to drive to would be Atlanta. Well, you're in luck because coming up in June 8th through 11th, is the first ever StreamCon. StreamCon in Atlanta, Georgia. StreamCon.net is the URL, and it's going to be a great show. It's not a trade show. It's not a convention. I'd say it's more of a conference. We're going to have lots of folks that are presenting on live streaming, presenting on hardware and software and cloudware and all the things to do with live streaming. We're delighted that vMix is going to be the title sponsor for StreamCon. The folks at XKeys are going to be a sponsor. They've already given us a couple of our wonderful XK24 controllers to give away, and we'll have special pricing on XKeys there at the conference. We're lining up other sponsors too now as we speak, and I guess my company probably ought to be a sponsor, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. And full disclosure here, this show is nothing but a 30-minute long infomercial for my show, for my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. We're a vMix reseller. We also resell Madgewell and XKeys and Oh golly, my mind went blank. Oh, PTZ optics cameras. And so if you're interested in one of those things, we can help you. If you're interested in an entire package, for example, we've got a studio that we are outfitting this week. We're getting it ready and ready to ship it all out tomorrow. That'll include 4 PTZ optics cams, a supercomputer to make it all work together seamlessly. And we're really thankful. It's actually going to a radio station, and they're going to put it in 2 of their different studios, 2 cameras in each studio. So it's going to be a great way to add video to the radio experience, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for them. I know it's been a lot of fun for us. Welcome to Jim Moline. Glad Jim could join. Better late than never, Jim. And also, just one more before we bring Bruce on, because Bruce is a large personality, and he is the kind of guy that when he comes in, you know he's in the room, and that's one of his best characteristics. You know, he is the guy. So, but before we do that, I want to remind you, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, click the Watch Live tab, and they'll get the full Streaming Idiots experience with the chat room, because we've got a lot of folks in the chat right now. It's up to about 4 or 5 dozen, and they're out there in the chat. They're chanting Bruce, Bruce, Bruce right now. So we better bring him on. So let's see if we can find Bruce. We've got Bruce here somewhere in all these inputs. Let's bring him on and bring his audio up. And Bruce, we've got a little bit of background noise there in your studio, because you've got all sorts of things going on, including a speaker that you're monitoring us on. But welcome, Bruce Richardson with Video Link. We're so glad to have you.
Well, thanks for having me, Tom. It's good to see you.
Bruce, I got to ask you, I mean, you have been in the streaming business longer than anybody I know, but you weren't born into it. There was a day where you suddenly discovered, hey, live streaming is cool. Do you remember that day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, we were, in the old days, we used to do our own BBS servers. Before the internet, we had game servers lined up in the back of our shop. People could dial in. People could dial in on modems and play on our game servers. And really, when the internet hit and went public, I had some friends at Cornell. They immediately started working on video teleconferencing, which is, you know, probably the beginning of streaming. Back in the Cornell, it was CU, Cornell University in White Pine, that did the original video streaming. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's production streaming really came along about 15 years ago. Video streaming was back in '95,
right,
with Cornell, and
right.
CU White Pine was the first video networking over. It's been a long and really fun adventure. I mean. It changes so often. The new technologies come, some companies out, and it's a wonderful experience to see the growth and the changes and the adaptability of people with all the changes that we've dealt with in our industry.
When did you realize this was really a thing? That it was really gonna catch on?
I was a beta tester for CU back in the late '90s, and I met people all over the world, and it was, you know, you see the magic as soon as you start working with it. You see the magic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 15 years ago, when NewTek put out the TriCamera, that kind of put it in everyone's hands on the production side of, you know, we had the ability to feed things into cards and stream them all the way along. But that was a monumental change. I think that was probably the biggest jump that we saw, because we were always fooling around with it. We're always fooling around with capture cards and video cameras. We used to use security cameras at the beginning, right? We'd use a capture card and a security camera, or webcams hadn't been invented yet. So it's amazing going back, seeing the changes have been phenomenal. And so there's been jumps. It's been like, the 90s, we got the internet. It's about 2000, there was some technology advances, and then that TriCaster thing, boy, that just turned the world on edge. So and now we've got, I've been playing with the vMix all morning. I love this thing. It's great.
All right, so you jumped from Cornell, and when did you decide to open Video Link Canada?
Well, I opened Video Link in '87. It was I come from a radio background. So my background is, when I was 14 years old, I started sweeping a parking lot in a radio station. That was my first job in the industry, sweeping a parking lot for a year. And then they let me into the studio to clean equipment. That was my job. Here's your bottle of Windex. Here's a rag. Wipe off all the nicotine from all the, in the radio studio. That was my second job. And I joined the military. I was in communications and electronics for a few years there. And when I came out, I went back into radio. And then about 1980 something, I had a little problem with my ear from a diving experience, and my high end in one ear kind of got messed up, and I switched over to video. So I started the company in '87. It was me and my camera. I had a camcorder, old Panasonic 450 SL US camcorder, and big dreams, and it's been a gradual progression, and a lot of good times, hard times. It's like running any business. You have to be passionate. You have to be dedicated. You have to give up a lot sometimes. But if you keep at it, you keep a good attitude, and you keep at it, usually it works out pretty good. It's amazing where the company is now. I'm so happy to be having really good people on our team, and our suppliers, like Martin. Like I remember I was saying this earlier, sometimes you just meet people and you like them right away, and you get a good feeling from them. And Martin was like that. When I first met him, he was just like, I like this guy. I don't know why. And the more I learned about him, the more I respect him. And he's done some phenomenal things with his software. It's incredible. So yeah, I got to write a book, right?
Yeah, that's right. You need to, or make a movie.
I know.
So when did TriCaster come on the scene for you?
Well, I think NewTek, if I go back all the way, we were Amiga dealers. So we used to buy Amigas from Commodore, and we'd buy toaster cards from NewTek. And I go further back than that. Tim Jennison from NewTek invented one of the first video capture devices ever on the planet. It was do you know where my vidis are? My videos? Or my digiviews?
Yeah.
Can you grab one for me?
Sure.
This is history. The first one of the first video capture devices ever was for an Amiga with a parallel port dongle with a single RCA input, and that was Tim being a kooky inventor back in his garage, and the guy had vision, and he went on from he made the little Digiview, and then he made the Digiview Gold, which was like 4,000 colors, and then he made the toaster card. We used to build those, buy Amigas and put toaster cards in them, and that transformed into the toaster flyer, the nonlinear. And so the TriCaster, we went through a number of changes. When Commodore left us in '94, Commodore shut down, and we basically, NewTek kind of went into back to the drawing board, and they they needed, they were like, we've lost our platform. It was a winning combination, but the platform's gone, so now we have to go PC or Mac or DEC Alpha or Sun, or what are we going to do? So they went back to the drawing board and they came out with the VT system for PCs. And we went through 4 or 5 generations of that before TriCaster. I think TriCaster is about 13 years old now. I think I'd have to look it up, but it was one of those things where we used to have put together a whole bunch of different pieces of equipment and to do what we wanted to do. And they were kind of the first company to go, here you go, here's everything in one little box, and it does everything you want it to do. And as time went on, it did more and more and got more and more professional, and it changed our industry. It seriously did change our industry.
Well, and not only did it change the industry, but you have changed the industry in your area by being one of the first ones in Canada to really specialize in this technology and roll it out so that it's available for businesses and governments and industry and schools and all the different people that have been your clients all these years.
Well, it's like I said, with running a company, we're really concerned about our clients. I go to bat for the people that, they're the reason I'm here. They're the reason I'm still here, and they're the most important thing to me. I love. I gotta show them that. Look at this. Look, I have autographed Tim Jennison rookie cards. I love these. I'm such a geek. And yeah, I should have headsets, guys. I'm sorry for the echo. We set up studios and we show people how it works, but we're not production. We don't stream. I decided something a long time ago when I started. I saw companies selling equipment and doing production. And what they're doing is they're selling people gear and then they're taking their work away from them. I will never, ever, ever do that. And I never have. And so we support our clients to the fullest that we can. We do supply them with gear. We'll rent them gear. We'll rent them studio space. We'll rent them equipment, locations, whatever we can do to help. But we won't ever produce because that's their job, not mine. My job is to know the newest technologies, right? And bring them to them. So,
but you've got a pretty nice studio right there. Can you show it to us?
Sure, I could. Sure, I could do that. Let's see. Camera 2. Let's see. What are we looking at here? This is Studio 2. Can you jump on that Panasonic for me? And I'm going to do a little circle thing. So this is Studio 2. So there's we have a garage out there. We have a few garages here. This is one of our studios. There's the road cases that we make there. There's our Studio 2, the main green screen. We're gonna switch over here. So that's the control room in Studio 2. There's a TriCaster 8000 in there. A couple PTZ optics cameras if you look up top. We really like their cameras. They work really well. They're fun. I really enjoy something that's multifunctional. Multifunctional turns me on. And the PTZ optics camera, compared to a lot of PTZ cameras because we got Panasonic and Marshall Graphics and Marshall Electronics, and we're trying new ones all the time, but they're just multifunctional. That's going back to Studio 4, way in the back, and it's got a full corner cyc. There's the green screen, and by the way, all these signals are being brought in to vMix live over NDI.
There you go.
So the system in the back studio is the NewTek IP series, which is just a beast. It's a monster. It'll do 44 cameras and 64 inputs and 4 shows at the same time. It's just a monster. You can see it there. But The signals, yes, I'm using NDI on all these feeds. All these feeds are coming in NDI. So yeah, there's Studio 4. There's Studio 2. And Studio 3, we don't have a camera in it. We've got Wave High Dice. This is Dice. He's our camera guy. He's really into sensors, the internal workings of professional cameras. So he's good. Yeah. So I mean, it's we got a little showroom here. Here I can show you. There's the vMix, and we've got a Skype machine. We've got TriCaster Mini and a TriCaster 460 and a where are we? There's a live stream 4K over there. It's is what it is. Each machine's got its own.
It's a playground, is what it is, Bruce.
It's definitely a man cave. There's no doubt. I wish I could show you Studio 3. I've got an Army Jeep right now, and it's got giant Hendrix on the wall with a killer stereo, and we're having fun. I mean, you want to have a successful business, you better be doing what you like. You better get enjoyment out of it. Otherwise, it's not going to last. If you love it, you will succeed. You find something that you have a passion for, you will succeed. And I'm just very, very lucky that I was smart enough, or I was guided by the right guys. I listened to the right people. I worked my ass off, and things have worked out very, very nicely. But it's hard work and commitment and integrity and my dad taught me a lot about that in business. He's always given me great advice. So I just keep at it, right? Keep working hard and keep doing the right thing and keep helping people. The more people you help, the better life gets. There's not. I remember there was this thing where New Tech did where we were the top resellers in the world a couple years back, and they asked me to get up and say, how do you do it? And I said, I don't know. I get up in the morning, put a smile on my face. I help people as much as I can. I work my ass off. That's the secrets to success. And,
the secret sauce.
Right? It's just really common sense. But it takes dedication and long hours. And, last night I was up till like 11 working on one of the studios. And I just love it. I mean, what can I tell you? It's my fun. And then when I'm not, now, on the weekends I work on bees.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a beekeeper. So on the weekends I do the exact opposite of the tech. And I garden and I work on bees and I work on, we have ducks in a farm and things like that. So it's kind of a balance. I think it's my therapy.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, therapy aside, let's look into the future, because you've seen the birth of this industry. You've seen the birth of live streaming. What do you think the next 5 to 10 years are going to look like? What is there going to be a big thing, or are all the little things going to get incrementally better?
There's going to be both. We've got a lot of people out there with a lot of great ideas and a lot of hardworking people, and the technologies are advancing and changing. You can't tell the future, really. You can guess. You can pay attention and watch what's going on, and you'll come up with your own ideas. We've got some things that we fool around with. We've been doing these like video glasses for, gosh, like I don't know how long now we've been working on these, this is like a 1080 camera, right? With audio and USB, and you know, it's a great little camera. We've been working with these guys for a long time. They started off as a camera, and then we got video, and then we got 720, and now we got 1080. And can you keep a secret?
No.
You can't keep a secret? Maybe I shouldn't show you. We're almost done this, so the app is just being finished now. These are live streaming glasses. So you'll see I got a little camera here, and this is Wi-Fi, and this is going to be live streaming to Facebook and YouTube. And where do you want to go? Do you have an account at Ustream? Great. Do you have an account with whatever? But this is almost done. We're about 2 weeks away from finishing the app. We got to shrink it down a little bit as a prototype, but you know, currently we can take these and go Wi-Fi to 4 different cell phones and record to them. We're just finishing up the live stream app on them. So that's near future. That's pretty futuristic.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of cool, and what's going to happen? I think more wearable live streaming devices come out. You know, that's. I mean, I remember when the first, like when Teradek brought out the Vidi U, and it was like, slap this on your camera, go Wi-Fi, and now a cameraman can be Wi-Fi, you know, anywhere he is. So. It's always going to change. This is just fun. There's so many reasons that this is going to be great, and again, we're having fun with it. We're geeks, and we're fooling around, and we're trying to come up with ways to do things, and yeah, like these ones that we have now, these 1080 recording glasses. We're going to be giving away these at NAB. So these are like a 1080 camera with sound, does an MOV format, micro SD card. If anybody sees the Streamin' Demon shirts and yells "Video Link rocks" on the floor at NAB, they're going to win a T-shirt or a something, or a pair of these glasses. I mean, we're going to be giving away all kinds of weird stuff. And again, we're just having fun. We're you know. It's the best way to treat life, is just get out there and have fun with it, and I just happen to be a geek. So
well, they're already shouting that in the chat room, so
I know, right? Yeah, that's great. I hope you guys go to NAB. And there's Joanne.
Yep.
Hi, Joanne.
Well, Bruce, I really do appreciate you taking time out, because I know you're heading out to NAB next week, and you've got a lot to get ready. But you're just a champ for taking time out to be with us today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's you know, it's a pleasure. I do like sharing what we've gone through with people, so they understand where we came from. I think that's the missing piece in out there in the world, is, you know, a lot of people don't know the history. So I love sharing with people, and the experience have been great, and we get to meet great people, you know, and I'm looking so forward to NAB. There's buddies of mine from companies like guys, I've known them like 25 years, and I just, they're like family now. Some of them are like my best friends, and you know, I'm very blessed to be surrounded by good, positive people that love their work. So thanks very much for the opportunity, Tom.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. We'll be talking soon. Thanks, Bruce. All right. So kudos to Bruce for coming on. Apologies for the audio. We kind of caught him in betwixt this and that, and he couldn't get the setup that he wanted. You know, we were talking earlier. Everybody's got a black bag full of all the adapters and the piece parts that you need to put together a broadcast, and he's got one. In fact, he's probably got black trunks full of all this stuff, and just couldn't get his hands on the right adapters at the moment. to work that. But nevertheless, we got to experience Bruce and some of the history that goes behind live streaming, and living history, because not only was he there when it happened, but he has participated in bringing it to his part of the world. And I think that's really cool. So if you're at NAB in 2 weeks and you see Bruce running around, remember to holler at him that Video Link rocks. And who knows what kind of gift you get. Now, if you say Streaming Idiots rocks, we'll just look at you and say you're an idiot. So there's no prize for that. All right. If you're watching us live and you want to hang around for the post show and have some questions for Bruce, I'm sure he would love to answer. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Next week, we've got Mike Cannell from Sportscast on the show. Sportscast is that device. If you've watched our shows before, you know RJ Reynolds was showing us his basketball setup, and the way he brought the scoring for the scoreboard into his PC was through a Sportscast device. And so we reached out to Mike, and he's going to come on the show next week and share how his devices allow you to actually plug into the in-house scoring system and get the scores off of that, so that you don't have to worry about putting a camera on a clock or any of those kinds of things, or keeping score yourself. All of this is automatic and really, really cool. So that's next week, and then the week after that we'll be at NAB and hopefully doing a live broadcast from the floor of NAB. If you think the sound today was horrible, just wait till 2 weeks from today at NAB. The background din is just going to be immense, and we'll just have to see what we can do and what we can get out there. But at the very least, we can say hi and tell you some of the cool things that we've seen, and show you around the vMix booth, because vMix has got a great booth. I think they've got 5 or 6 different workstations there, so there'll be plenty of things for people to get up and play with. I know they'll have some PTZ optics cams there. They'll have a 4K cam there, and lots of other toys too that complement and work with vMix. So that's it, folks. Until next time. I'm Tom Sinclair. This was Streaming Idiots, and we can't wait to see you at NAB. So we'll see you then. Take care.